This is a tough market. So if you're struggling, then know that it's not just you. And it's not just beginning agents, seasoned agents, top producing agents. There is a lot of struggle going around. The big thing is that not everyone is honest about it though. Let's talk about why so many are struggling, and then what are some of the best options available? Sales are down, way down. We had about 4 million sales in the United States in 2023. That's down from 6.12 million in 2022. Keep in mind that 2022 was a really good year and was the highest level we'd seen since 2006. The average amount of property sales in the United States from 2015 and 2020 was 5.4 million sales. So while sales were down nearly 35% from 2022 from 2023, they really are down about 26% when you compare it to our average. Either way, it's not great. The issue, quite frankly, is that there isn't enough business for the number of agents that we have in the industry. The 4 million sales in 2023 brings us back to the days of 2008 when we saw sales levels of 4.1 million. In 2022, there were 1.6 million agents in the United States, and this is compared to the 1 million agents that were in the industry back in 2008. Tough talk here. There needs to be, and there's going to be, a realignment in our industry. That's why so many people are struggling right now. There are too many agents for too few sales. So what can you do if you're one of those struggling agents? Oh, real quick, hey, it's Jeff Chubb. I'm a recovering RE/MAX, then EXP agent that now is partnered with Real. If you have any questions about my experiences, then know I'm an open book and I'm ready to help. All confidentially, of course. And if you like the content, then I appreciate you slamming that like button right down there and maybe even possibly considering subscribing. The first thing is that you have to decide if you have the fight to survive. This isn't going to get easier anytime soon. Frankly, it's probably going to get a lot harder. So do you have the will? Are you a fighter? If so, then move to step 2 here. The next thing is that I would take some time for some deep and hard analysis. Go spend an hour with yourself and ask 2 tough questions. What is the one thing that I can do tomorrow that will make an impact in my business and thereby my life? And after that question, now ask the question, what are my biggest weaknesses? Ask yourself, what are the things that I'm really not good at? Really focus and dig deep on these questions. Meditate them. Very serious internal discussion. That's what you need here. Because finding out and figuring out what our weaknesses are, they actually allow us to find the solutions. For example, mine, I hate the phone. I know for a fact if I wanted to make a serious difference in my income level, then it would be me spending 3 hours on the phone each and every day, hammering it out. And it doesn't necessarily just stop in my retail real estate business. That calling could be on the retail side, but also the investment side, and even fellow agents to talk about the advantages of partnering with Real Broker. But I don't. The pain, it's just not bad enough yet for me to do it. I have an inside sales associate that I depend on to make those hated calls on the retail side, that is. I've had this internal conversation, have to say it sucks. I've had that internal conversation more times than I can count. So what can you do if you are a struggling agent? The first thing you need to do is to make sure that you're cutting every expense possible. Marketing expenses that aren't performing, comb through your credit card statement. Get rid of the stupid $10 per month charges that begin to add up. You should even be looking at your brokerage. Are you at one of those brokerages that are charging 30 or 40% on their split? You may want to seriously consider a lower cost brokerage. And you definitely want to cut any brokerage that has a monthly charge. Back to that internal conversation, as it's important because figuring out what your shortcomings are will ultimately help you determine what direction that you need to go in. As an example, someone like me that has a 30,000 person database, leads are not my problem. Me and my team making more contacts is the problem, as it takes a lot more work to do the same amount of business than in the past. As I see it, for most, the best option in order to not ultimately be one of the 600 or so thousand that will need to leave our industry in the next couple of years is to actually join a team, but not just any team. You need to join the right team. That internal conversation is important because the shortcomings that you have identified are what you need to make sure that that team covers. Maybe your shortcoming is not doing the things that you need to do. Okay, well then a team that is heavy on accountability would probably be a good recipe for your success. Maybe it's not the follow-up that's the issue, but having a shortage of opportunities. Okay, a team that generates a lot of leads and has a top-tier system might be your recipe for success. Maybe the issue is that you have the opportunities and are doing all the work, but just have a low conversion rate, which means you need a team that's heavy on training. You need to find the yin to your yang. But the only way you can do that is if you have that internal conversation. It can be a nasty tailspin when you're struggling. You can't invest in your business because you don't have any money to invest with. It's very normal for people to have to run up their credit card debt in order to get by, which actually only ends up compounding the problems when so much a month is going out the door every single month in interest. This is why a team is the right answer for so many people. Yes, your split's going to be less, but you will eliminate most of your expenses. And a smaller piece of a bigger pie is always better than the entire pie that doesn't really exist. If a team isn't for you, no matter what, then find another struggling agent. Team up and be each other's accountability partner. Find overlap where you guys can share expenses. Have goals like how many calls you're going to make in a day. Start your day with a conversation and commit to whatever goals you are going to make for that day. And then at the end of the day, have another conversation where you go over whether you achieved those goals or not. Make sure to add in some positive mindset training as well. I can promise you that this is really going to help. Every day when I'm going to and from the gym, rather than listening to music or some morning show, I go to my YouTube music account and actually type in motivational speaker and listen. I found something that would seem so stupid and insignificant being a big help to start my day off on a positive foot. Another option is to find a brokerage that doesn't have any monthly costs and hang your license there and work to find referral opportunities where you can get some beautiful referral fees. I think this will become the best bet for a lot of agents, as it's going to become harder and harder to be a part-time agent in this new world of these decoupled commissions. Now, here's the real tough talk. For many, it may not make sense to continue. This market isn't going to get any easier anytime soon. If you have serious obligations, and I'm not talking about some bills, I'm talking about the mouths to feed obligations, then at some point it becomes time to hang up the towel and live another day to possibly try again. If you have questions, then please feel free to reach out. If you're looking for a team, then again, reach out, as I network with some of the top teams all over the country and all different brokerages, and I can point you in the right direction. And obviously, if you're considering a lower cost brokerage and Real's an opportunity, then I would love to be the one to show you the advantages of teaming up with this awesome company. Until next time.